Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting Iron Might GT7 stream. Today we're at the Nations Cup at Fuji. I'm in the favoured car, I guess, the Honda NSX Concept GT16 car. Did a bit of a weird one. I went through qualifying in my medium tyres. It's medium and soft required. I chose medium and I thought I'll just give it a go and see where I end up, and I ended up second to last, so 12th out of 13, so starting near the back. It's 20 laps for us B grade drivers, 20 laps with 2 times fuel and 4 times tyre wear. Starting off in the mediums, I'll be doing around about the 10 laps. I did think about whether or not I should go 9 with less fuel. My softs could last a bit longer, or I'll see how it goes, and maybe 11. I wasn't sure. Thought I'd see how I'd go. I thought I whacked that guy there. I wasn't sure. Admiral Snack Bar. Wasn't sure if I'd hit him or not. At the time I thought I had. First corner. This is the second to last race of the day. I've been at work all day, tried to get home for the third to last race, but traffic just held me back. So second to last race, a little bit of practice before just to warm up, and just cold tyres. So even here it was like, oh, please stop, don't hit anyone. So it looks like everyone is in the Honda NSX except for one guy. There was one guy who was in a I can't even remember what car it was. Not sure if it was a Lexus. There was just one guy who was in another car which seemed to do okay around here. Just trying to keep my nose clean. You'll see in this race I have 3 incidences. And sometimes you just have a bad race and it just makes you look bad, and usually it's against people you've never really raced before, and you think, oh, they're going to think I'm dirty. So you'll see that in a few laps time. So who was that? That was Gamelin, who was up near the front. I think he overshot the corner, so he's at the back. So naturally, I'm assuming if he was up near the front, he'll be on softs possibly, so I thought he'll be catching up pretty quick. Another person in this race who was quite ominous was the Black Death, and I thought, oh, it's not good. Hopefully that's not a sign, which could be, because I had 3 incidences in this race. I've had some good races on this track. One of them I titled Fuel Gauge Racing, and I did quite well from the back, but it was more strategy and just being patient. This was a bit of just go hard, pit, change tyre, go hard again. But making ground. I'm in 8th place at the moment, back to 9th, back to 8th, up to 7th, and I thought, hey, I'm doing all right. I've got traction control 2 on. Generally, when I was practicing during the week, I was pretty comfortable in this car, but just the occasional time I would spin the car out. So I put it onto traction control 2, mainly because it was just the very beginning of the race, and I'm on mediums, and I thought I could probably spin the car again under race conditions. So traction control 2 and counter steer on strong, I just found myself more comfortable. I think it just helped stabilize the car and reduce that spinning possibility. So the guy who I thought I hit, but looking at the replay, it looks like I didn't hit him on that lap 1, turn 1. But the guy in front, Admiral Snake Bar, I'm just keeping on his tail. And you'll see it's probably in this lap going down the straight. I'm pretty close to him, and I felt bad that I thought I'd hit him and knocked him wide. So you'll see I'll be just bump drafting him. And out of 11 drivers, we've just had, sorry, out of 13, we've just had someone drop out. Tested a number of cars. There's probably 8 cars all up. And this car seemed to be the best on fuel, tyres, and generally lap times. So you'll see here, it is at the last minute, but I do bump draft him. I didn't want to go for the overtake because of thinking I'd already hit him once. I wanted to show him that we can work together. Just occasionally you'll see like just a bit of nerves. It's hard to tell, but just getting a corner a little bit wrong, turning in a touch early. It's just so high paced. See, I felt comfortable there because I had the traction control. I thought I can just push a touch earlier and not have to worry about spinning the car out. So the previous lap, which was at the beginning of lap 4, I bump drafted him, and I'm pretty close, so I thought I'll do it again and we'll just keep going, and I'll use his slipstream. We'll just start catching up to people. It's real early in the race, there was no need for me to go for an overtake, so why not? And I looked at the gap behind me. There's what, 2.6 second or 2.9 second gap behind me, so did feel a touch uncomfortable being so close to people. And I'm thinking, right, well, I know where my brake point is. I've just got to brake about 0.2 of a second before. So, and I also feel like we are catching the guy in position 5, Jace 1600, I think it is, which is Datov, who I'm quite familiar with, and we've both been around for a while, so I'm sure he's familiar with me. This Admiral snack bar starts to show signs of getting a bit loose. So again, had I hit this guy on lap 1, turn 1, I'm sure he's appreciating this a bit. He's confident I'm not going to be going for a move. Some of these bump drafts are a touch late. Just going, almost entering the braking zone. every once in a while I'd just look at my, what lap I'm on, and yeah, thinking about, do I go lap, pit on lap 9, lap 10, or lap 11? So, and the theory behind that thought was, if I go into the pits on lap 9, I'll be getting on the softs a lap earlier than probably the average, and I'll be able to undercut people. But then getting up to lap 20, I know my tyre's going to be dead. Is it worth it? Do I just do the standard lap 10? Or if I'm doing okay, I'll hang in there and do another 1 or 2 laps and protect my tyres, the softs, when they go on. When I was practicing, I thought something wasn't right, but it felt like the mediums and the softs, the lap times weren't that much different. And I thought, well, if the lap times aren't much different, I should hang on to the mediums as long as I can. So when I'm on the softs, I can just push hard without worrying about the wear. And look at this, I remember thinking, wow, there's a little group of cars just in front of us. I'm thinking, right, I'm P7, so 6, 5, 4, 3, P3 is just ahead. So again, around here, I began to think about that pitting lap 9. I thought, if these people are going to start holding me up, it's probably worthwhile considering pitting early. And again, see those little wriggles. And I'm thinking, during the race, I'm thinking, you're going to be gone. You're going to be off the track in no time. Keep doing that. So I had a gut feeling this guy had no assists at all, and he's just pushing it a bit. And could it be on softs, and they're really starting to wear? That I wasn't to know. All I knew was he was getting loose, and I thought, get ready for him to spear off the track. And there's that guy off the track on the left there, and I was hoping he wouldn't come back on. So that was Spruce Moose, who was up the front for quite a bit. I haven't really looked at his situation to see why he's struggling. So through all that, Admiral Snack Bars moved up 2 places to 4th. And that was Mike Drift. Last minute move into the pits. He was on mediums. So that got me thinking, well, I didn't pit at lap 9. I decided to continue on, and then he's pitting, so I thought, right, he's my gauge whether or not me pitting on lap 11 or 10, I guess, is too soon or too late, I mean. So there was Spruce Moose leaving as well. So from 13 drivers, we're down to 11. It's a bit of a clear track now. It's just me and Admiral Snack Bar, the guy who I've been bump drafting. And I've still got Gamelham 2.1 seconds behind me, and I had a feeling that he was slowly catching. Really trying to keep up behind this guy so I could continue that bump drafting. So now lap 11, this would be my in lap. I thought, well, I have 9 laps to go. My softs should be ready to go on. Now I have just put him a little bit out of position there. I felt it did go wide on turn 1, so I started to look for a possible overtake opportunity. I've been nice enough for long enough. I felt like if there's an opening, I should be able to go for it and do it cleanly. So here I am, I'm going for it again. I felt like I had a bit of a better exit. But he's got the inside line. Just give him heaps of room. And again there, bit of a... So, incident number 1 is about to take place. I'm going to pit, and he's just staying in a straight line there, and I start moving over, and I start to notice, yeah, he's moving over as well. We come together there. Now, what's the protocol there? I didn't realise how thin pit entry was. We were travelling side by side for most of the pit entry, but we were going pretty fast through that little bit, so that wasn't intentional by me, but it just happened, I guess. But he ends up getting a 3-second penalty from that. So he was on mediums like me, and we're now both on softs. So I'm thinking, oops, maybe I'll just wait for him to get to the penalty line, and I'll get past him when he pays his penalty. So there's a bit more coming up, but I'd still say this is a part of incident number 1. I just, in my eyes, I felt like he just came over a bit late. Yeah, he was in front of me, and he just seems to turn in on me there, like he wasn't happy. He's so focused on trying to turn in on me, he just goes out wide and off on the grass. So, luckily no penalty for me. I wasn't the agitator there, he was, so I just carried on. And I've still got that Gamelham behind me, and he's right on my backside now. He's paying a penalty. So I'm in P5 now, fresh softs. Doing 9 laps on these softs, not the planned 10 laps. and I'm keeping the traction control on. I think I do take it off. Maybe it was around here. I'm thinking I'll just leave it on while these softs are a bit cold. So incident number one was the pit entry coming together, and then that guy showing his disapproval, I guess, as I'm getting past him. But all that said and done, I'm in P5 now, which is looking pretty good. And I've got so Jace 1600 or Datov P3, he's doing alright. And then there's Mike Drift in P4. So obviously he's my focus at the moment. I'm just going to try and bring this this gap down, which is at 3.9 at the moment, I think. And I think it was during this lap I noticed the fastest lap was a minute 33.012, and then I looked up and I'd just done a minute 33.244, I think. I thought, oh, that's close. So if I'm gonna try and break that, now is the time while my softs are fresh. So it looks like I've taken the traction control right off at the moment. So I've just got the counter steer on strong. And 6 laps to go now. Still P5. Yeah, I really feel like I'm catching them now. These two are sort of tripping over each other. And look at my racing softs, they're still looking pretty good. So I guess in my mind I'm thinking, well, I feel I'm catching both of them. I had the feeling I would be able to get past both at some point. Just needed to get in their slipstream. And then at a certain point I realised, you know, I'm trying to go for the fastest lap. And then I realised, oh, there's a new fastest lap now, minute 32.7, by the Black Death, who is behind me, 1.6 seconds behind me. And yeah, I had a feeling he was catching up. So if he's hitting the fastest lap and he's catching, if I don't get past these two and he's on my backside, I'm going to have to let him go, was my train of thought. So now I'm right on the backside of Jace 1600 or Datov. Now see that? I think now yeah, traction control goes back on. Bit disappointed there. I was right in his slipstream and almost spin the car. So it gets a little bit tense and tight near the end. I did mention there were 3 incidences in this race, and I've only covered 1 so far, so the other 2 are still yet to come. So it looks like we're getting near the end of the race, we're getting near the end of the straight, so I thought, well, I won't go for a bump draft. This gets a bit tight now. Datov goes a touch wide, or Jace. So I start moving, I can see I've got the Black Death behind me. So it looks like Datov has to back off a bit. He's pulling a tighter line there, so I get past, I get clear. I'm clear of those 2. I feel like I'm just starting to catch up to this Mike drift now. So 2.5 laps to go. There's a fair amount of wear on my softs, but I thought the wear isn't too bad. It looks like Jace is able to hold off the Black Death for now. And here is Mike Drift. Looks like he's just getting a bit loose here now. And I thought, okay. Most people would have pitted quite a few laps ago, and he's showing signs of his tyres getting a bit too worn. I'm in a slipstream, so obviously not going to be going for the pass. I'm too far back, but catching up quite nicely. So I think it's here. I think it's this lap, yeah. Incident number 2. So it goes out wide, so I pull an inside line. So I'm probably not going as fast. You look in the radar, I've just got past him now. I brake, and that was just a square smack right in the backside, and then just shoots off. And I thought, hang on, nah. So I was pretty keen to try and catch up to this guy. So I thought, well, his tyres are probably pretty worn, and that's his last defence, is anyone challenges him, he will just try and tap him off the track. But then I've got the Black Death getting past me now, and I've just got to be so careful. Like there, I'm like, God. And then I've got Gamelham on my backside. So I don't know if that was intentional to go a bit wide there, but Gamelham is he's just dropped behind me now, half a second penalty. So that Mike Drift, I felt like he just punted me there, and quite plainly. And I did look in the replay, like 2 laps ago, at what point would he brake? And when he hit me, there was no braking until he hits me, then he brakes. And I thought, that's just a straight out punt. So again, that Mike Drift looks like he's getting away now, and it's just getting really crowded. Gamelhammer's just got past me again. So we've got third incident come up, final lap, and I've got Jace not far behind me. I felt like I was just starting to fall back a bit, and I guess my mind was a little bit clouded with the anger from that Mike Drift. I was really annoyed at that. I thought that was pretty blatant and no slowing down at all. So here's incident number 3. Just give Gamelham, which I know a bit of a tap, and then just gets worse. And I just looked up and put my hands up in the air, literally. And I thought, I've just got to wait for him. I don't know where he is. Hopefully there's enough of a gap between us and other people. I didn't know where he was. So I'm looking for his name, and then I realised, oh, there he is, 2 cars ahead. I just couldn't continue on, unlike that Micah Drift. And so I thought I'd go to third person view to show you the car. So I was probably aiming for P6 or 7 and drop back to P10. So here he is, Admiral Snackbar, on that pit manoeuvre. Wasn't happy. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the race, guys, and wasn't my day today. Looking forward to the next race, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.